types of stress. Two types of syllables. Generally, when we talk about the words, we have two, especially more than one syllable. We say that word consists of two or when it consists of two or more syllables, there are two types of syllables: stressed syllables and unstressed syllables. So, stress versus unstressed syllables. Look at this word about. It got two syllables, right? Schwa in the first syllable, and bout in the second syllable. So, when I pronounce this word about, I'm lower at the lower pitch when I pronounce the first syllable, right? And when I go for the second syllable, bout. So first I go up, I go higher in sound, there is a sonority in my, and then I start coming or falling down. My voice falls down. So if we look at this the graph becomes like this, right? So this is one example of two levels of stress in which one word is stressed and the other word is unstressed. So the unstressed word is the stress word is called primary stress because it has more force, more emphasis, more prominence, right? And it uses more muscular energy. So this is known as primary stress. We have another type of stress which we call secondary stress. For example, if you look at this word photographic, the actual stress is on photographic, right? But contrary to the syllable like t and ik, we have another level of stress which is given to the first syllable, which is pho, right? So if we look at this, that we have two levels of stress in this word, pho, t, gra, ik, right? So in this case, we have two levels of stress. One is the primary stress and the second is the secondary stress. So the vertical line before the syllable is the primary stress and the vertical line below the syllable is secondary stress. So generally the secondary stress is found in few, two and more, 3-4 syllable words. Similarly, we can have another example, anthropology. So we have the stress on pa, right? But contrary to thra, there is another syllable which is the first syllable, which has more force. So we can say that we can have three levels of stress. One syllable which is unstressed, one syllable which has more force and which is primary stress, and in between the unstressed and the stress syllable we have another level of stress which is secondary stress. So up to now we can talk about three levels of stress or three types of stress. However, we can find another level of stress, that is tertiary level. If you look at this word poetic, in this case, this is the first syllable is ho, right? And stress is found etic, right? But unlike the unstressed syllable, there is more force in the first syllable. Though it should have been that the first, if the second syllable is stressed, it should have been unstressed syllable. But contrary to this concept, the first syllable, which is though unstressed, is having more force, right? So this type of level of stress is also considered by phoneticians and phonologists, and this is known as tertiary stress. So similarly, if you look at this word pathetic, in this word, the first syllable, which is unstressed syllable, does not have the power which we can see or find in the first syllable of the word poetic, right? So on the basis of this discussion, we can conclude that we can have 4 types of stress: primary stress, secondary stress, tertiary stress, and unstress, right? So these are different levels or different types of stress.